Okay, I've seen this in a couple of past papers, and it's a really easy one as long as you understand the keywords. So it's something to do with horizontal and vertical integration. Now, this is basically, imagine, the whole point of it is you've got to imagine your Cadbury's. So you're this person in the middle, and there's three different levels of the product, what do you call it, of the, I don't know, three different sectors, that's what you call it. So you've got the primary sector, and this is like getting raw materials out of the ground. The secondary sector, and this is like manufacturing, that's when you make those raw materials into something. And finally we've got the tertiary, can't spell tertiary, disconnect, oh. I don't know how to spell tertiary. You've got the tertiary sector, and that's where you try and sell stuff to the customers. So that's, some people call it the service sector. I call it the service sector because I can't spell tertiary, but don't let that stop you. Right, so we've got the primary, secondary, and tertiary. At the minute, the company's in the secondary sector. Right, to make more money, what they could do, and I'm just going to rub out the stuff I've done so far, what they could do to try and make more money is they could go backwards and start going towards the primary sector. And the way they could do that, so for Cadbury's, they could buy some farms. So they could go backwards, and they call this backwards vertical, because it's going up and down, vertical integration. So that means they're integrating, or they're joining together with their suppliers, basically. And we've got to think what would be good and bad about for Cadbury's going backwards and integrating with their suppliers. Well, the first thing is, good thing is they'd get guaranteed. Now I can't spell guaranteed, so I'm just going to say they'd get a definite. I can't spell definite either. What am I going to go for? I'm going to go for guaranteed and hope for the best. Guaranteed supply. So that means they're definitely going to get their supply because they know it's coming from them, so they don't have to suddenly worry they're not going to get enough milk. The second thing is they can trust the quality. Because if you think about that, think about how bad quality, like when meat production, when they suddenly realise that there was loads of horse meat in there. At least if it's your own thing, you can guarantee the quality. The third thing is they won't have to pay an extra charge to their suppliers, so it'll be cheaper because they'll be getting it for cost price from themselves. So there's lots of good things, but obviously the bad thing is they've got no skill in doing farms. They've never done farms before, so they might not be able to get it right. The second downside, obviously, is it's expensive. It's expensive to go and buy some farms, so we'll stick with them. Right, so that's backwards vertical integration. So as you can guess, going the other way is called forwards vertical integration. And what this is this time is instead of Cadbury's going backwards and having a farm, they go forwards and open their own shops. Because normally Cadbury's, they sell their stuff in like a supermarket, but instead they might open their own shop. Now this is the Cafe Cadbury's, which used to be in Bath, and I used to live in Bath. So it was just the only thing you could buy in that shop was Cadbury's. Like everything was Cadbury's. Right. So what would be good about this? Why would it be good for Cadbury's to open their own shop? Right. Firstly, there'd be no competition. So in that shop, you wouldn't have to worry about competition because it's only your product in there. The second thing is you get to keep 100% of the profit. So you don't have to share the profit with Sainsbury's. You get to keep it all. Right. But there are some downsides. The first downside is the cost. Because you've got to pay for rent, you've got to pay for workers. Second downside, obviously, is lack of experience. Because they don't actually know how to run a, cafe or a shop. And that's what I go for with those ones. So that's backwards vertical, forwards vertical. So now we've got to go for the other one, the one going across the middle here. And this is called horizontal. And horizontal for Cadbury's would be trying to take over a company on the same level as them, so on the production stage of things. So Cadbury's could take over, let's say, Mars. So if Cadbury's take over Mars, what would be good and bad about this? Well, the good thing is, first of all, there'll be less competition. And you've got a second good one that I know you just want to say, I can just see you saying it, right? If they take over another competitor, then they'll be bigger. And if they're bigger, then they can benefit from economies of scale, which happens to be pretty much the right answer for almost all questions in business studies. right? So as soon as you say economy of scale, what do you get to do? You get to define it, then you get to give an example of an economy of scale they might get. For example, because they're bigger, they could get loans from banks, and they get that at a lower rate. But there are some downsides. Right, the first downside is it might be expensive, because you've got to take over a really big competitor. The second downside is you might actually end up having to sack workers, because there'll be lots of workers in both companies who are doing the same job, and that might actually, if you sack people, it might lower motivation. And there might be other points as well, but for the minute, that will do. So as long as you can remember that, backwards vertical integration, forwards vertical integration, and horizontal, I know a couple of good things and a couple of bad things for each one, then you'll be sorted for that question.